Welcome to the Heart and Home podcast, a podcast for parents who want to understand behavior, not just manage it. Here, we go beyond quick fixes and surface strategies into what actually drives your child's actions, emotions, and patterns. Because effective parenting isn't about control, it's about insight, intention, and how you choose to respond in the moments that matter most. Let's get started.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Heart and Home podcast.
Welcome
I'm
back.
Glow, and we have the one and only brrrr.
Taufik.
Yeah, the brrr was the drum roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brrrr.
I'm a part of a boxing competition.
Yes,
Boxing fight.
that has been my idea since the very beginning. I always go like, we have the one and only on the left side, we have the one and only Taufik. Yeah. Oh well. Okay, Taufik. So, today we have decided to move away from the book and continue the chapters in the book. We'll continue on a later date
Yeah.
because something has been brought to our attention.
Yes.
We have seen something,
Or read something.
read something. Yes. So, we saw this article by the Straits Times that was talking about Singapore announcing standardized disciplinary measures across all schools, including detention, suspension, and caning. Dun, 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 for some offences, of course. Yes. So we would like to talk about that today.
Okay.
Now, before we move on, first, Taufik, I understand that you've been working with youths and like corrective facilities.
Yeah. A children's home, in the prisons, not just youths, but also in the prison setting. I worked with the fathers in Singapore prisons. That was a long time back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like youth as well, right?
Yes,
Like
in corrective
corrective.
under the guidance program, and then mentoring of young offenders. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thoughts.
About what? About the punishment? Last week we spoke about punishment.
Yes.
Not last week, last episodes. We talked about discipline and punishment.
Yep.
My thoughts on this article whereby they're going to bring back
Okay, let me frame this
Okay.
a bit better. Why do you think they decided to have caning implemented as a form of punishment across all schools? Why do you think now?
So now the question I also have is, does this also include girls' school?
Ooh.
It didn't specifically say in the article.
Yeah.
So because currently at the moment, what's really happening is that caning does not happen for girls. Yeah.
So I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that in the comments.
Yeah.
There were a couple of people that were bringing it up. They were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, then what about the girls now? Are girls also going to be caned as well?" And they were like, "Oh, why double standards? Blah 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 blah."
Yeah. I don't have a. I know why. Basically, I'm not speaking on behalf of MOE or the schools.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking from my own professional and personal experience. Our judicial system has caning,
Yeah.
right? Does it work? Caning is for mostly like offences like capital offences, like for example, rape, molest, violent crimes that nobody died, drug related. What else? I think that covers quite a lot, quite about that. But I also want to just question like what does caning would look like in schools, in primary schools and in secondary schools, and how would you differ from Like, because these questions were not answered in the article itself, right? So then there's an issue of like, um, would it be public caning? Would it be private? And also, there's I think there's more. Instead of, there wasn't a lot of clarity in the article, but then coming from a professional perspective, right? I had a little bit more questions. Would it include both genders? Would it what would public caning be like? What would private caning be like? And because it is a punishment, right? So therefore, the parents of the child that is receiving the caning must give consent.
Yeah.
What happens if parents
Withhold the consent.
withhold consent?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, we have seen, like, a lawyer letter was sent to schools just for confiscation of handphones.
Yep.
I think this was like 5 or 8 years ago,
Right.
before COVID. What's going to stop parents from sending a lawyer's letter of cease and desist to the school
Yeah.
for such offences like this? For, like, if it does warrant a caning. And I think there were more questions than answers to this article. And then, like, but I also see from the school's perspective, right? Because punishment is a strong deterrence. Correct?
Yes.
I also tend to challenge that a little bit. We have very strong drug laws in Singapore,
Yeah.
and it includes capital punishment, which is like
Death penalty.
death penalty,
Yeah.
and also caning. But drugs are still being brought into Singapore.
Yeah.
So does it really work? I don't have. It is very hard to judge or, like, I mean, the only person that can judge this is the judge, right? But I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence for this because, like, there was no clear criteria or requirements, or like there wasn't much clarity. Yeah. And how would it look like? And after, like, even before the caning, what is the process like?
Yeah.
And then, like, if parents agree, give consent, but if, let's say, the school just canes without the parent consent, what's the impact, or what's the consequences to that? And if, let's say, the child parents give consent, and caning takes place, who determines, like, what's the criteria for, like, public, or whether it's public caning, or whether it's like closed, behind closed doors? And would cyberbullying also equate to such punishment? And then we talk about suspension. So I think I did read it a little bit. No, I did, actually, I read it through. And then, like, what does the suspension look like? Because I can tell you, like, when you suspend the child stays at home.
Yeah.
Holiday.
Yeah.
It's a holiday.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, I don't have to go to school for 5 days. Yay!
Yeah.
What are we actually teaching the child? And the only person that inconveniences is actually the parent, because now the parents have to actually arrange for child giving, like, duties. Have to take leave from work, or like, or if the parent cannot take leave from work, if you're working, if the parent's working from home, that's easy. But then probably you also want to cane your child if that happens. Yeah, I understand, like, the suspension from school, because it then pushes, not pushes lah, it the system wants the parents to take control of the situation, to manage the child. That's how suspension works. But suspension from school for 5 days, as a student said, yes, great, I don't have to go to school for 5 days.
Then do you think, like, how can parents come in to play a part in this process of punishment?
This is actually a very tough question.
Okay.
I think also the question I want to also ask is to answer is like I ask and answer myself would be, where do we stand as a society on caning? As we were reading the comments,
Yeah.
I would say 8 out of 10 comments would be just whack. Every he did the crime. He needs to serve the consequences.
Yeah.
And then again, if you go back to studies on corporal punishment, on punishment, or even like any use of physical force, it affects brain development.
Yep.
So where are we on this? Where it's very hard to draw a line in the sand. But there's different perspectives to this, huh? But then for the person who's being bullied or who is the one that's experiencing the bullying, it's not easy for them also.
Yeah.
And then we also have the social the part of the society, the one that really believes in what do you call it, social justice.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, this is what they need. This is what they need. So the challenge is this, there is no one answer that fits everything. I say this because I also read the standardized for all schools, right? I think that we should also tread carefully on that. I think we should tread carefully on that, because no two bullying incidences are the same. I say this with a lot of restraint, because what is the outcome that you want from the punishment, the suspension, the detention, the caning? What is the outcome that you want from it? Are you looking for compliance? Are you looking for an opportunity to educate? Because if I'm being caned, I'm not gonna. If I'm, let's say I'm 15, huh? If I'm being caned, I'm no mood to be educated. I'm going to probably be angry for a week or two, and if I see that boy again in school, he's going to get it. But I won't do it. But I'm going to make his time as miserable as I possibly can. I'm not saying this because I'm a bully. I'm just saying this from a brain developmental perspective. There's so many layers to this. First, we look at the really the individual layer, right? Where the person being bullied and also the person engaged in bullying behavior. So that's the first layer. And then the second layer is the classroom. The individuals who are witnessing, the bystanders. The bystanders or the upstanders, or because the upstanders are the ones that, oh, teacher, I saw Taufik bullying this other person. So there's an impact to the person being bullied, the person engaging in bullying behaviors. And if you also notice the terms that I use, I didn't use victim, I didn't use perpetrator.
Yeah.
Because those are terms that assign a lot of blame.
Right.
Assign a lot of blame, and what happens if, let's say, the person who is being bullied all the time, they assign, oh, the victim. And every time when I hear and I read, oh no, I want to correct you a little bit. I'll always correct the person, because now this person who's being bullied will always think that I'm the victim, I'm at fault. This is my fault. I behave this way, so therefore I'm being bullied. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
So in terms of terminology, it needs to change.
Okay.
And this was one of the work that we did at that we did at Children's Society, where we wanted to reframe or rephrase the terminologies. to the person being bullied, the person engaging bullying behavior, and the witnesses, the bystanders and the upstanders.
Right.
Right? So then now we talked about the first two layers, and then the second layer is the teachers. Okay? So the adults, now we move on to the adults, the teachers, and then still within the school system, the teachers, and then the school leaders. And then from the school leaders, we're talking about the HOD, level heads, student development, teacher, discipline, and then on top of that, we have the people who lead the school. The VP, P, then and all of us in these different layers have different insights, have different perspective on what punishment consequences will look like. Because all of us, like it or not, when there's an incident, when there's a crisis, we bring in our own values, beliefs into the situation. And even when we talk about values, like what we believe and our own experience into the situation, correct? So if you look at it right, and then there's so many layers, and then on after the school layer is done, right, then we look at outside of the school. We look at the family.
Yeah.
A lot of us, especially those born in the in the 70s, 80s, 70s and 80s, right? We grew up with caning.
Yeah.
And caning is an acceptable form of punishment if you are in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, because we grew up with it and it has been normalized. And that's why you see, right, sometimes on social media, the people who actually comment would just whack.
Yeah, they're always the
Yeah.
Gen X,
Yeah.
millennials.
Yeah. So those people in their late like 30s, 40s, and 50s, and even like in our previous episodes, we also talked about like how do we actually move away from using physical punishment or corporal punishment and move away to like restorative processes. Now on top of that, right, and then we also have like the younger parents who are in their late 20s, like late 20s, early 30s, who don't believe it and don't believe in physical punishment or caning or even suspension. And when this happens, when there's there's so many layers to this, and when this happens, right, as parents, there are some of us that agree. But from my experience working with parents and schools, there are things that, for example, there's one thing that's been happening that the last time something as drastic as this happened was the school received a cease and desist letter from lawyer for confiscation of a phone. What's stopping parents
From sending letters. as
from
well.
sending a cease and desist letters to the school,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And maybe these parents have a little bit more resources, and they can even like fight MOE in the courts,
Yeah.
and like then now we are already moving on to our bigger community, like the society at large, right? And as we go through the comments, 8 out of 10 people support caning. Then the question, like you probably asked me earlier before off cast, right? Taufik, what is our beliefs at Practitioners Collective?
Yeah. What's our stand?
Punishment or consequences need to happen, but it needs to be reciprocal to the offense that was done. I'm not in a position, even I say I'm not in a position to tell you, if let's say you're a mom or a father, I'm not in a position to tell you that you shouldn't whack your child. Right? I can tell you that I can give you information, and I can give you knowledge, like certain things to tell you that this is what's going to happen, and the impact of what's going to happen if you whack your child,
Right.
if you hit your child. And I also say that one stroke may look like this like punishment, right? But how do you then discipline? And we talk about discipline. Discipline is to educate, to teach, and to inform. So after that act of like punishing, of hitting or caning, what happens next? Right? And I'm not a proponent of any form of physical punishment. I'll be very honest with that. I'm not a proponent. It's because I know what it does biologically, physiologically, and how it affects a child's development. Right? So, is there an answer? now there's where we talk about the so many layers of the ecosystem, right? And then now this comes from the like really outside of the system. We talk about Yuri Bronfenbrenner's ecological system, and now we are really outside where policy. Now this is policy already. So you see the different layers, and and within each layer, there's so many different perspectives. There's so many different nuances. So there's a huge part of me that disagrees that a standardized a standardized way of rules that is going to happen. I just want to say that we need to tread very carefully on that, because no two individuals are the same, no two bullying incidents are the same. They may be similar, but everything is nuanced to the individual and everything is nuanced to the situation. So it cannot be a one cane fits all rule. I'm as you can see, I'm not a proponent of any form of physical punishment. I'm actually more for restorative practices.
Yeah. Can you tell me more about restorative practices? Because in my mind, I have my own way that I would love for it to be implemented in a bullying situation.
Okay.
But I want to hear yours.
So the origin of restorative practices comes from the Maori culture. Okay, and it doesn't just. So here's the interesting thing: a lot of the school counselors and discipline team in the school are all trained in restorative circles. There are two organizations in Singapore that do it: Restorative Practices Singapore, and the other one is Lutheran Community Services.
Okay.
I know this because I've worked with both of them before, and
Nice.
I'm a huge believer in restorative practices, right? And how it works is this: it comes from a Maori origin, whereby we talk about a person who is being because bullying affects everyone in this layer, right? From the child, from the person engaging in bullying behaviors, to the person being bullied, the bystanders, the teachers, the parents, the school disciplinary committee, the school leaders, the community, and then we talk about parents. If you look at it, right, parents of person being bullied, parents of person engaging in bullying behaviors, parents of bystanders, and then we have the police, the school, and then we have community partners. How does that look like? It's going to be, and it needs to include the children who's being the child of the youth being bullied, their parents, them. So that's really like three people, So and then the person being bullied. So the one engaging in bullying behaviors and being bullied. Then bystanders, those who are really affected. Maybe there's another three. So there's really like what, 12, 15? Then you have the teachers. Form teacher, if let's say the child's from a different class. Right? You have the teachers, the subject head, the level head, assistant year head. Then you have the principal, and then we have if it escalates to the police, then it has the police. Because now I know a lot of just parents are very wary, so they want to lodge police reports Because if there's any harm and any safety, yes, they lodge police report.
Right.
I'm for that. I'm for that. Because you never know if let's say the child got hit, right? That they might need some medical attention.
Yeah.
So if you notice now the restorative circle, how many people already?
There's a lot of
It's
people.
about 18, huh?
Yeah.
18, huh? And then now we have the restorative circle facilitator plus one more. We have a co-facilitator. Right? Then you have the police. So now we really have 20 people. So how restorative circle works is everyone gets a chance to speak. First, they probably start with like the person who is being bullied. What is your experience like? How do you feel? How did it impact you? How have you been coping for the past few weeks? Right? And then we talk to the one that is being engaging in bullying behaviors like what caused you to act out this way? Was it rage? Was it and then for everyone to speak. And then everyone gets a chance to speak. And then like the common thing is, how did this impact you? But here's the thing. Bringing all these 20 individuals together in one place is tough. It's tough because if I'm being bullied, I'm not going to want to be in the same room with somebody who bullied me. What about the parents? That parent's going to blame this parent going to blame this parent. But the only way to do it is through restorative work. Where we restore relationships, we restore friendships. You remember the story last week, the last episode that I shared, where the father actually scolded the son out about being a bully, bullying other people, right? And now the child is friends with the person the boy that he pushed down.
Yeah.
And I can assure you that it's not going to happen in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 day, 2 days.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. And what is the impact to the child that is being bullied? And then what is the impact of the child that is being caned? Of course, you always say like, nothing lah. Because like, I want to save my face. Like, I cannot be seen as weak.
Yeah.
But there was one incident where one of where I was when I was presenting at the social work association, and we were talking about bullying, and I think one of the team members from Lutheran Community Services just shared with this. We tend to be very focused on. We tend to advocate a lot for the person being bullied, and the bully, the person who's engaging in bullying behavior, told the facilitator. Everybody talks about the person that I bully. What about me? Yes, I did something wrong. But I'm not the bad person all the time. I also have feelings. So we also need to look at what is the child trying to tell us when they are engaging in bullying behavior.
Yeah. It goes deeper than that.
It goes deeper.
Yeah.
It goes deeper. There's so many layers. And I can tell you, if I'm a parent and if my child is being bullied, I don't want to be in the same room with the bully's parents. You think I'm not going to be defensive? Okay, maybe you catch me on a good day. I took off from work and tennis, but then there's inconvenience to me.
Yeah.
So then again, what is the state of mind of all the parents attending that circle?
Yeah.
And for any form of correction to take place, we need to restore the connections first.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We need to restore the connections first. Ideally, would caning help to restore the connections? No, it won't.
Yeah.
Would punishments help? Yeah, it would just cut off the you'll just cut off the problem in the bud.
Yeah.
But the rot still happens.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy, like, a plant is dying. Oh, there's a rot here that I just cut off.
Mm.
But you never know that there's just one branch, but then some of the other branches might be affected.
Yep.
So, to be very honest with you, Gloria, I don't think there's an answer to this article at all. In fact, I have more questions. Yeah, and to also standardize it into just one size fits all is not fair. I would think, this is just me, okay, it's just my own professional opinion, is that there needs to be a lot of consultation with the school. MOE cannot do it on their own. Schools cannot do it on their own. Schools need to work with the parents, community partners, Lutheran Community Services, Restorative Practice Singapore, even Children's Society, who's actually leading a lot of the bully-free work. And there needs to be a lot of education. There needs to be on macro level. There needs to be a lot of education, and then on a slightly lower level, there needs to be a lot of one-to-one or group work with the persons who are engaging and being bullied. Yeah.
So I do feel here at Practitioners Collective, we do stand for restorative processes.
Yes.
Where I also feel like we should be working one-on-one with every individual first. It might be a very long process.
It's going to be a long process.
However, it's definitely worth it. So we work one-on-one
You know,
with each first.
You know what? Just a thought, okay? Maybe we can invite some of my friends from Lutheran Community Services.
Oh my gosh, that would be a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have this discussion with him.
Yeah.
I say this because they have been in this field for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just been working with the spillover effects of persons being bullied. And just try to manage their emotions, giving them strategies, what to do. I think maybe we could have one of them over to just,
That would be absolutely
yeah,
wonderful.
because I think that would be great. I think that would be great because I'm also keen to hear from them.
Yeah.
What
their thoughts and
what their
their
thoughts are of
process,
of these new things are.
Yay, time to bring friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all I know is that for us here, we are definitely standing for restorative process.
Yes.
That above anything else, that should be our number one. So
here's the difficulty, because now MOE has passed it, right?
but that's
Just have to follow lah.
Yeah, we follow, but that's always the start of a new cycle, right?
Yeah,
When something is
yeah.
implemented, every new thing that's implemented is also the beginning of the formation of something new that will be implemented in the future. So yeah, I think this is a great space to have a conversation about. But yes, I agree, we should definitely have a friend come in, and I can't wait for that episode.
I'm also wondering we could have two guests at the same time, but I'm also worried if we have too many views, we might end up arguing or the discussion might be quite heated. So
It's okay, I can be facilitator. I've been facilitator since yeah.
So I think at the end of this, and when you brought it up, right, this topic today, I was a little bit cautious. I was a little bit cautious because I have friends who are working in MOE.
Understood.
I have friends working in social service agencies which champions this work.
Yeah.
And I have ex-colleagues who I still have very good relationships with, who champion bully free work, and I believe truly in the work that we do at bully free, especially at Children's Society. And it's not, and we must realize that it's not just us doing it. I was explaining the different layers, the different individuals at different layers. The answer is within the ecosystem. It's not just MOE's problem.
Yeah, it's not just
It's not the parents' problem. It's not just the it's not even I even talk about student care.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a training that I did for are student care teachers from YMCA.
Yeah.
And it's not just, and everybody has a role to play. And what does this role look like to support the child that is being bullied and the child that is engaging in bullying behavior? And do you also know that every time when a child is engaging in bullying behavior, we have our own preconceived idea that this boy is a bad person. Yeah. Oh, why you bully this? Why you bully this person? Why you bully this child? And for us, how do we then, as adults, put aside our preconceived notions or preconceived views about the person or the child engaging in bullying behavior?
Yeah.
It's difficult.
I think we should all save that for the next episode when we do try to get our guest on
Yeah,
as well.
I'll try and see.
Yeah, that'll be
I'll try
really.
and
Let's
speak to
try. Let's
Justin and
try.
see what
Let's
we can
try.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for sharing, Taufik. I feel like that's a lot of content today. Till the next one, and hopefully we'll have our guest then.
Yeah.
Till then, see you. Thank you so much, and much love from the Heart and Home podcast.
Before you move on, pause for a moment. What stayed with you from this episode? If it shifted something in you, subscribe to Heart and Home podcast and keep growing with us, one conversation at a time. And if another parent you know came to mind while listening that may benefit from this conversation, share this podcast with them. Because sometimes they might just need to hear the right words at the right time. And that may spark a change for them. If you do need a chat with us, DM us on Instagram, consult to book a complimentary one-to-one clarity call. See you guys soon.